All right, y'all. Live location at Gus'S, New York style pizza in
Goodyear, Arizona.
Goodyear.
Yes, sir.
Keep 1 million. Show 'em Dwayne.
Sean P.
And we just wanted to have a quick show. All-Star Weekend.
Oh yeah,
this
oh yeah.
year.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday was Mac McClung won the third straight slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
I think you liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. You said you didn't like it, right? Tell me why you didn't like it.
There's only 2 original dunks I've seen in the whole dunk contest.
Which ones was that?
So he did a like a double pump where he hit the rim. You know, that was original. And then he did another like spin move over the, jumped over the guy's head, did kind of a spin move that I haven't seen. The car, okay, he did a reverse over the car. But Blake Griffin started that. This is basically how Kia is NBA because of that.
Yeah.
Right? And then the other athletes, the other players, they were doing the same dunks as we've seen time and time again.
Yeah.
And all of them, I didn't know who they were.
Well, that's how the dunk contest is nowadays. We don't know who we are, who's in the contest anymore. There's no more star power. It's crazy because the first time Matt McClung was in the dunk contest, he said with no star power. The dunk contest made him a star.
It did. It made him a star.
Literally made him a star.
Because he's still in and out of the G League. He's not even a good enough player to stay in the NBA.
That is true.
He's doing the number 10-day contract. They give him the Orlando Magic jersey just for the All-Star game, just for the dunk contest.
He don't play for the D League team.
He plays for the G League team.
For Orlando, right?
Yeah. But then they give him Orlando Magic jersey.
Yeah, because
he's quote unquote a Magic.
Yeah.
But he's not on the team. So there was supposed to be rumors that this was be a G League versus NBA. Some of the G League players got really good dunks. They never did that. You guys still have top superstars that's never going to do it. Ja Morant, Zion. Zach LaVine's not going to do it again. No. Aaron Gordon's not going to do it again.
No.
Anthony Edwards not going to do it. They're too beholden to the brands. They're brands. To even do it. So there needs to be something.
Well, they need to just come out and say we think we're too good. We just think we're too good to do it. And we're not going to do it, and we're scared that if we lose to a G leaguer, then we're going to lose.
And now it's that I don't want to lose to a G leaguer.
They don't. They don't want to lose to him.
Kenny Smith in the contest was trying to egg it on and say I'm calling this guy out, I'm calling these guys out, but I don't think that's going to do anything either.
No, it didn't do anything with LeBron.
Right. People
calling him out all the time. Well, I ain't gonna say people. Skip Bayless was calling him out for that all the time. It didn't work. It didn't work. And now I will say this: Stephen A. Smith did say he blames LeBron for that because LeBron set the precedence when he didn't do it.
He did.
So the kids coming up behind him was like, "Well, see, LeBron didn't do it."
Right.
So just that. What it comes down to is they're scared to lose.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Kobe Bryant even said when he was like, "Why didn't you go in the dunk contest against Vince?" He said, "I only choose fights I know I can win."
Right.
The late great Kobe Bryant said that. So I mean, look, I like Mac McClung's dunk. I know what you're saying, doing it over the car. Blake already did it, but I think Blake did a tomahawk over the car, right? If I can remember that.
Jumping from the free throw line.
Mac, man, he jumped over some dude's head and reversed it. I was like, man, he took me a catch through that, and he was like almost 50 inches off the ground when he did it. I was like, geez, man. But he did say this would be his last one. So I don't know what the dunk contest is gonna look like. I guarantee you this: if the dunk contest looks bad next year,
might as well scrap it.
We'll scrap it. I remember when the 3-point contest was more star-studded than the dunk contest because he was like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Dame Lillard, James Harden, all these. He was like, "Yo."
It looks like it's like that now because
Yeah.
Tyler Hero just won
He
it.
just won it. He beat
Damian Lillard.
Beat Damian Lillard. Yeah. Beat
Damian Lillard was trying to three-peat. He was 2 years in a row now.
Trying to
you know.
beat, yeah.
Um,
And Buddy Hield did well, but I'm upset. You just informed me that because I liked what they did last year with Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry. You said they scrapped that last minute.
right. Reading about Adam Silver has his press conference, every year during the All-Star break, and he talked about that. And they said it'd have been forced. That didn't seem organic, if you will, but to me that doesn't make sense because
It don't make sense to me either.
Sabrina Ionescu is from the Bay Area. They're in San Francisco at Golden State Warriors Stadium. I think it'd have been a hit, a rematch, maybe. I'll say throw in two more people, another NBA player and another WNBA player, to
Tournament style.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Like that,
it's like it could have been Steph against. I'm just throwing a name out there. Steph with Dame Lillard. Them two go against each other, and then Sabrina Ionescu against somebody. And whoever won that, they battled it out. And then I believe that because I thought it was dope last year. I thought that because Sabrina Ionescu almost beat him.
Right. It's so bad that the dunk contest is so bad that they have to switch up the whole All-Star festivities because how bad the dunk contest is. I mean, you got Sunday, there's this tournament style All-Star game now. So you had a tournament style rookies and rookies and second year players mixed in with G League players going against each other. The winner of that mini tournament, which was like Friday, goes against Kenny's Young Stars, and then it's Charles Barkley's Global Stars and Shaq's OGs. So it's like USA versus the World versus Young Stars. Those teams go against each other. The winners of those teams will play in a championship type game after that in the All-Star game. That's going to be the All-Star game this year, which I don't like it. What they could have did, which they should have did last year, was just USA versus the World, an All-Star game type. Which this is what you're kind of getting, which they kind of did on purpose because they had on TNT. That's what they call Kenny, Shaq, and Charles Barkley's teams. They picked the teams, and they picked the teams just like this. So it sounded like it was on purpose. But I think moving forward, they should just go back to either East-West or USA versus the World because this is ridiculous. Put more money up for the dunk contest so Saturday night so people can actually watch. I mean, I'm looking on social media and people are like, this is garbage. The dunk contest is garbage. The skills competition is okay. 1MILLION and Chris Paul got disqualified for, I guess, cheating, not, doing actually what they're supposed to do. Because you see how long and lanky 1MILLION is. He can do multiple, multiple skills at the same time, and it was doing that, so they disqualified him. But it does need to change because I don't see this All-Star game getting any close numbers as previous years as far as viewership.
I mean, All-Star games typically don't. I mean, the Pro Bowl really doesn't get views like that.
No, that's why they changed it up. They changed now. It's just type of skills competition, and they're doing, flag football. I like it because it's for the kids. They do, they do like 7-on-7s now.
Yeah.
Not a whole game. So, I like that. But the NBA All-Star game, they need a major. If this doesn't go well, they may have to scrap the whole All-Star game.
They might have to. They may have to because, I mean, like I just look at other All-Star events. like Pro Bowl. People don't really pay attention to that. It used to be after the Super Bowl, and they would be in Hawaii.
Right.
So it was an incentive for guys to go down there and play because you know you can bring your family to Hawaii, you can have a good time and stuff like that. But now I think now it's before the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
It's before the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl is in Orlando instead of Hawaii.
And then the people that's in the Super Bowl, if you're in the Super Bowl, you're not going to play in the Pro Bowl because you're risking injuries. So you're definitely scrapping that. Baseball, I mean that game, I would say it's more competitive than basketball because it just whenever I watched it just seemed more
The
competitive.
main reason why is there's something for them to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of that American League or National League gets home field.
Okay, they still doing that. Somebody told me
they might have scrapped it, but
Right.
that's what they used to do.
That's what they used to do.
And I mean,
Yeah.
American League is winning 10, 12 years in a row, but
Mhm.
that's really something to look forward to. Okay, if you win this, your conference gets gets the
Home
World
field,
Series.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so
They get the home field advantage, and the home run derby was always cool to watch.
Yeah.
The home run derby. And people say, "Oh, they
home
just
run
hitting."
derby is actually most likely the best event right now.
Yeah. People say, "Oh, they just
All
hitting."
events and all-star games, home run derbies right now the best.
They say stuff like, "Oh, they just hitting home runs," but I was like, "It's still you just sitting there looking like who gonna launch this thing out
Right.
of the park?" You know, it's that. And I forget what the big thing. I think it's they have actually a skills tournament where they have to hit the puck through a or something like that.
Yeah, NHL does.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Well, I didn't mind that, but you may not be able to fix this. We're talking about the NBA. It may not be able to be fixed. They might have to be like, you know what? We'll do an all-star break, but we'll just do stuff like maybe celebrity game and concerts and stuff like that. And then the players y'all don't have to play, dunk contests. I'm telling you,
Something.
you
Right.
do something like that, y'all. It's just a day. It's just a weekend of rest,
Yeah.
or something like that. Honestly, I believe the players would appreciate that.
Yeah.
All we got to do is just show up, mess around at the celebrity game
Yeah.
and the concert and everything, and then having it. I hate to say this, stay away from the cold cities, having it like
Warm city.
a warm city. Or maybe even having it in the same city the Super Bowl was in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. A week after the Super Bowl, would that work? A week after the Super Bowl?
I mean, it's close enough right now.
Yeah.
2 weeks, but Adam Silver had said in this press conference, kind of the state of the NBA, that he didn't know about the Luka trade, and that he didn't know, but he's okay with the Luka Anthony Davis trade.
Mm-hmm.
How everyone is so up in arms about it, especially Dallas fans. He actually reassured the press that the Dallas ownership is not going to move the team, because this was the rumor, the reason why they got rid of Luka, so they want to pay him, so they find a way to move Dallas to Vegas, because if I'm not mistaken, they're looking for a new stadium, right? Remember, Mark Cuban is really on the outside looking in.
Yeah, he's a minority owner. He's only owns
Right.
like 25%.
Right, with that trade, when that trade happened, come to find out, Mark Cuban, last on the 11th hour, tried to talk Nico out of doing the trade, but it was too late, right? But Adam Silver was saying, reassuring the fans and everything, that this takes time, trying to smooth everything over. Because if you look on the internet, it's the conspiracy theories are going crazy. People talking about they did this because the ratings were bad. People talking about they did this because of the Dallas ownership. People talking about they did this just so the Lakers could have another, 10 years of dominance. I mean, they've had superstars since the 1950s.
Yeah.
But Adam Silver, he's trying to quell that. Do you think you think he's gonna do good by talking about this? Because I don't think so. I think people are still gonna be talking.
They were still gonna be mad about it, upset about it. But I always go back to and to when the Lakers traded for Chris Paul. And I didn't like the way the commissioner stepped in. Commissioner David Stern stepped in with that. I really didn't like that. I was like, oh, they want to trade him? Trade him over there?
Right.
I mean, he literally cost Chris Paul a ring.
Yes, he did.
He cost Chris Paul a ring.
He said it was a competitive advantage. Now, is that in the rules of the NBA? Maybe it is, but Adam Silver's not using that at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these trades in the past few years, I mean, I don't think he's blocked not one trade his career as a commissioner.
No, I actually like him better than I like David Stern. I didn't like, God rest his soul, but I didn't like him, man. I was like, you know, I just thought the whole dress code thing, you know, that was like, I was like, really? And then he was like, oh, people like Stephen A. was like, oh, you know, white people coming to see these events, they're not coming to see these guys act like this, dress like this. I'm like, yeah, but then you turn around and you look at it today, these guys dressing like just wild as all get out. You like, what was the point?
Right.
What was the point? Why don't you just admit that you didn't want these black guys dressing like this? They made it seem like mobsters weren't killing people in the 30s wearing three-piece suits. Come on, Dad. Like with the nonsense. So I don't mind the trade that they did. The only thing that sucks is the fact that Anthony Davis got hurt the first night he played.
Yeah, right.
You just
that's really what made everyone upset too, because he was already injured. He didn't play the game before he got traded. Was against the Knicks.
Yeah.
He got injured the game before that with his oblique. Now he's going to be out a few weeks. So looks like either one of the training staffs, either Lakers or Dallas, screwed that up, because he shouldn't have played that first game to begin with. He really shouldn't have. But the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore, offense coordinator, is now the head coach of
the New Orleans
Saints with an unbelievable cap hell. They're $50-some odd million over the cap. Do you think he's gonna last at least a season? Well, probably most likely one season.
Yeah, he'll last a season.
He's gonna have Derek Carr.
He's gonna have Alvin Kamara. Well, even though Alvin Kamara's getting up there in years, he's gonna have Kamara.
I mean, how do you think he's gonna work out?
I thought he should have stayed with Philly just one more year. Just one more year. Just I ain't gonna tell you, I'll stay here for one more year, run it back, see if we can repeat.
Wait for another.
Wait for a better opening. Because I was just like, I get it. You want these are alpha males, man. They want to be the guy. They want to be the guy. But I always lean on what somebody said in the in sports media. It says sometimes people are meant to be coordinators.
Oh yeah.
Like for example, Jim Schwartz. He was defensive coordinator when the Eagles won that first Super Bowl. That's what he's meant to be. He was a D coordinator. He tried the head coach thing. It just didn't work. I remember back in the day when the Eagles had a coordinator named Jim Johnson, and the Steelers had a coordinator named Dick LeBeau. These guys were incredible D coordinators. They never even wanted to sniff the head coach.
Dick LeBeau still coaching with the Steelers.
Oh, Dick LeBeau still there?
I think if not, retired.
Retired. I think he's not the D coordinator anymore.
No,
he retired.
He's somewhere. He's somewhere on the field somewhere.
Jim Johnson, God rest his soul, he passed away.
Yeah.
And you just was like, for example, even the late great Buddy Ryan, back in the day, he was just meant to be a D coordinator, man. But because the way he ran the team, the defense was always tough.
Right.
The offense always lacked. You could just tell, he ain't nothing but a D coordinator with a head coaching title. So
speaking of,
you
got Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Schottenheimer's son, Marty Schottenheimer's son, is the Dallas Cowboys coach.
Where was Schottenheimer coming from? The son. Where was he coming from?
He was in the Dallas fold.
Oh, he was.
He was a coordinator or one of those not coordinator, but was an offensive not play caller, but he was part of the offensive team.
Okay.
Something like that. But I have a feeling that Kellen Moore is a little bit upset about that. Remember, he was offense coordinator for their free. That was his first gig. Dallas Cowboys. You know, he didn't make the league coming from Boise State, and he went straight to, I think, quarterbacks coach, and then he went to offensive coordinator, Dallas Cowboys. Got Dak Prescott to where he is. You know, 12 wins, 13 wins, didn't make it over the hump. I wonder why did they give him a chance as head coach of Dallas, going back to Dallas. Maybe the Eagles said, no, you can't talk to them, talk to the Dallas, you know, in division, you know, the playoffs still going on, but now he's
I think it's more,
New Orleans.
I don't think Jeffrey Lurie or Howie Roseman would tell him that. I believe it's probably more so just sticking it to Dallas, sticking it to Jerry. Be like,
Right.
you know what? I'm going to go over here, I'm going to do this. That's why I say I thought you should just stay with it. To me, if you would have stayed with, I know it's not a head coaching position, if you would have stayed there and ran it, let's just say for sake of argument, they won another Super Bowl back to back, that just sticks it to Dallas even worse, man. Like this is the guy you passed on.
Yeah.
And then go to a better situation than New Orleans.
Think about that. He got a Super Bowl. Dallas hasn't sniffed a Super Bowl in almost 30 years. In almost 30 years. And Kellen Moore's offense is one of the top offenses in the game.
They said that Google didn't exist.
No, it did not. It did not exist at all. At all.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
You know, here's the crazy thing I tell people. Growing up being an Eagles fan, you got me in the 90s, we wasn't winning anything, man. We got told by Cowboys fans that is that y'all can't talk to us unless you get a ring, unless you do this and that. And then it's crazy. And I remember on Facebook, it was this one Steelers fan that said the same thing. Come talk to me when y'all win one. So we won one. He said, man, come talk to me when you win 2 more. I was like, you know, because people always move the goalposts.
Yep.
And so it's funny. It's funny with that. I mean, we used to get told. At one point, we was the only NFC East team without a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
And Giants fans would kill us. But I remember when you remember the game where Philly came back on y'all and Deshaun Jackson ran. This one dude got on there. He's a Giants fan. He said, "Well, I can still rest at night knowing that I got 4 Super Bowls. We got 4 Super Bowls, and y'all ain't got that." So hey, see, when you get to that, when we get to that debate,
you're halfway there.
When you get at the debate with somebody and they pull that out, you can't rebuttal that.
I won't move the goalpost, but I'll say just get 2 more and then we can talk.
Yeah. I mean, no, but that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. I can't argue with. I can't argue with that because it's only a few teams that have 4 or more.
Yeah.
Like, so we run that. The ones we can remember. You got the Giants,
San Francisco, Cowboys, and the Steelers.
Cowboys, the Steelers, New England.
Yep, that's it.
I believe that's it.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, because the Steelers and
Steelers have 6.
6. New England has 6.
I have 7. No, 6.
Brady got 7.
Right.
Brady got 7.
Right. San Francisco has 5.
Brady be right here. He said, no. I got 7.
Exactly.
But then you go to the other ones. Like it's still some that haven't ever won a Super Bowl, and it's still some that haven't won 2.
Right.
So you know you get there and you see, but Jeffrey Lurie says it best. The gold standard is 4 or more.
Right.
Because that and the Steelers set that mark, and you just like, so when you're amongst them, nobody can talk trash. Even when you get 4, nobody can really talk trash about you. And I don't kid. I remember one time there was a New England fan when I was in the Air Force, a female. She told me, she said something that was interesting. She said, I was like, Steelers got 6 and this and that. She said, I hate Steelers fans. I said, why? She said, they always talking about they got 6, right? She said, but most of the people that's talking that noise wasn't even born when they won the first 4.
No, of course, that was in the 70s.
Like the 70s. She said, do you realize they went on like almost a 20-year drought before they got the next
almost
2?
30 years.
So she was like, come on now. Like she said, at least we won ours when I was alive. Right. I was like, okay, that's the argument. That's the argument for them 2 organizations to have. But
Yeah.
I don't see New England getting anytime soon
No.
though.
No.
It's like they didn't prepare. They let Tom Brady talk them out of Garoppolo, which Garoppolo. I'm not saying Garoppolo was like the greatest, but he was a serviceable quarterback for that span of time. He was solid. He went to didn't win, but he went to Super Bowl and everything. So it's sports. The sports dynamics always amaze me because it's always a argument to be said about things like when you talk about the Hall of Fame and everything. So you talk about baseball Hall of Fame and the four people that got in, which was Ichiro, CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, and who's the other one? I'm missing one. It's CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, Ichiro. I can never remember when it's for like that. It's like Mount Rushmore. You guys never can remember the other person. But anyway, when people argue like this person should be in the Hall of Fame, and I was
Football
watching
Hall of Fame we're talking about.
just any Hall of Fame, really. Like with baseball, people saying that. Like personally, I believe Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds. I don't care. I don't care if Big Poppy's in the Hall of Fame, who was Pop and they knew he was doing stuff. You put Barry in there, put Clemens in there. Let's stop the nonsense. The baseball writers have way too much power. It's these men, mostly men. I don't know how many women is over there. Like they have way too much power, and you're holding people back. And I will say the baseball out of the four major sports, baseball Hall of Fame is probably the hardest. Not probably, it is the hardest to get into. And Billy Wagner was on his 10th go.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, this year he's on his last year, and then it's gonna be whatever. And football is the second hardest because I hate to say this one podcast I'm listening to. They said with basketball, all you gotta do is know how to dribble and shoot, and you get into the Hall of Fame, which is just messed up. But you start to think about it, you be like, but he might got a point. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Like, look, he was. I'm not, because I know how people feel about when you never played the sport at a professional level. You talk about this, but I watched it. The man never made it past the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
I was like,
injured.
He was injured a lot, and you was like T-Mac and Vince Carter. I don't know.
Carmelo's a finalist.
No, Carmelo, I'm okay with. That's first ballot unanimous. Yeah. I'm good with Carmelo. I'm good with Reggie Miller, even though people question that. You know who I'm not good with? Tim Hardaway.
Ooh. Wow.
Can you tell the story of pro basketball without Tim Hardaway? Yes, you can. And like you're just like, okay, the UTEP two-step, the crossover. I mean, he talked bad about Allen Iverson. Oh, he carried the ball. Oh yeah, he was in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he got to the Hall of Fame. He got to a championship, but he didn't win. I was like, yeah, but you never got to a championship. I mean, man, and like I
tried with Miami.
Yeah, he never got there. He was either getting taken out by the Knicks or the Bulls. So come on, man. Like look, Tim Hardaway, I liked him a lot when I was a kid, but I'm thinking he didn't. I'm just like, I always felt like this. If you you're talking about the Hall of Fame, you say somebody's name, if you got to think about it, they don't need to be in there.
That's true. No, that's true.
So you say Tim Hardaway, you be like,
right.
Like I could go. I say Chris Mullin, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
All right.
What's his teammate, Mitch Richmond? Yeah. I'm like, okay, Mitch Richmond. Chris Webber, yeah. He not in there. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Oh, he called a timeout, he made it, and all this. Why not? Now my whole thing is this: okay, you letting Tim Hardaway, and you gonna let Jalen Rose in?
No, yeah.
See, you see where I'm getting?
Open that door. Right.
And I like Jalen Rose. But even Jalen Rose will tell you he wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Right. Yeah,
but he's like, yo, some of these people getting in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm better. I'm better than that. You know, like, and if they would have won that championship against the Lakers, he arguably would have been the MVP of that series. He was balling. He was balling.
Right.
He was balling. But like, even with football, I'm like, okay, don't have a problem. Who got in this year? It was Sterling Sharp. It was Luke Kuechly should have got in. Should have got in. But it was Sterling Sharp. It was Antonio Gates. It was Sterling Sharp. Antonio
Eli didn't get
No, he didn't get it. Oh, Eric Allen and Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
Yeah. So I'm okay with all four.
Yeah, Luke Kuechly didn't get in.
No, Luke Kuechly didn't get. I thought Luke Kuechly should have got in.
He got in.
I was like,
He really
oh,
should have.
I'm like Luke Kuechly didn't get in.
Right.
And so I don't have an issue with Sterling Sharp getting in because the 7 years he played, he was phenomenal. But now what you're setting the precedent for is, oh well, coulda, woulda, shoulda. At this point, so now I'm saying, well, you gonna let Hans Ward in?
Right.
You gonna let Andre Rosen in? And like people are like, oh, Andre Rosen. No, look at his numbers. Just Sterling Sharp numbers, exact same numbers. If you take his 7 best seasons and Sterling Sharp's 7 best seasons, they're pretty much equal. I was like, it's just that he played 4 more. Like what messed Andre Rosen up was 2 years in Cleveland. Just messed him up. He never played with an All-Pro quarterback either. You just like, oh my goodness, this dude. Like them years in Cleveland, you was like, oh my God, man, you could have did without that. But my whole thing is, if you're saying if you're letting Sterling in now,
right.
I don't have a problem with him being in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying.
That's true.
And that's one thing baseball don't do. It's like,
no, they don't.
They don't play around, man. They just be like, and baseball is way more petty. They way more petty. Pete Rose should be in there. Pete Rose is going to get in. Now that he's passed on, he's going to get in. I just some of these Hall of Fames and they're you know which Hall of Fame is the hardest to get into? It's tennis.
Oh wow.
Tennis is one of the hardest to get into. It's like it's not a major sport.
Yeah.
One of the hardest to get into, man. But I mean, what's your take on it, man?
No, you hit everything on the head. My thing is just how Eli didn't get in, but
He will
get in next year. But next year is going to be.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he
Fitzgerald's Larry Fitzgerald's up for it.
He's
Drew
getting
Brees
in.
is up.
He's getting in.
A couple other players. Luke Kuechly.
He should get in.
Should get in.
He should get in.
And maybe the 4 right there, and Eli.
Yeah, Eli's going to get in. Eli's definitely going to get in.
One thing that people forget, he has almost had the Ironman record. He was 1 game away from most games played consecutively.
Oh, for the NFL.
Yeah. So
he was definitely tough. I'm not going to sit there and say he wasn't, but then the argument people have is like, well, okay, they want to say Donovan McNabb. I'm like, it's tough because people will always remember that Super Bowl where he was throwing up on the field, and then not just that, the Super Bowl ended with him throwing a pick.
Yeah.
So Eli's Super Bowls ended with him throwing a touchdown and winning that game.
I think with Donovan has to just go by numbers.
Yeah.
His number match up.
He got the numbers, but
it'll be
real tough for him to get in though. Do I believe he should get in? I'm not even being a biased homer. I believe he should, but I will understand why they wouldn't let him in. But then again, it took forever for Eric Allen to get in, and it was so long. I thought he was already in. I was like, oh, he not in the Hall of Fame already. They're like, no. I was like, oh man. Right. He played at a time when it was. I mean, he was not a big corner, but I remember he laid a hit on Herschel Walker. You know, I mean, he come up and laid it. Oh, I got a question for you. What about Bo Jackson?
It depends on his numbers, but
for football.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on his numbers, but he didn't play long either.
But you put Sterling there.
Right.
You know,
that's true.
So
I think running back's a different position though. He doesn't have any records.
Huh?
He doesn't have any records.
I'm trying. I have to look it up. I'm trying. I gotta see if Sterling got any records, but
I think for running back, it's probably a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
You have to be on that level of Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. You know,
because he was.
Matter of fact, Frank Gore, he should get it. He's right there.
Yeah, he should.
With records and with Emmitt and all that, I think he's one of the top 5.
He should. You know who else should get it?
Rushing all the time.
Ricky Waters.
Maybe.
Ricky Waters. He just rubbed a lot of writers the wrong way. You know? So,
yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, you rub writers the wrong way and stuff, this and that. But him. But yeah, Gore definitely. But see, Bo's on a trajectory. He was gonna mess around and be the the first and probably only player to be in 2 Hall of Fames.
Right. Oh, yeah.
If he would not have got hurt and would have continued to play
Yeah.
football and baseball, and honestly, he said it himself. Baseball was his first love.
Yeah.
So if he was going to get one up, it probably was going to be football. But he was on that trajectory. Then you could say like he was going to be in both Hall of Fame.
Could have.
He could have. I was like, because really because per the numbers, baseball like should have at least 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. And he was going to get that.
Yeah.
And football for yards. I mean, he didn't necessarily have to be the leading rusher like Emmitt Smith or anything. He just had to be in the top 10 really. He had to be in the top 10, and he could have did that at the trajectory he was going.
Right.
So I was just like, when you open up that door, you gotta. It's like a chief master sergeant in the Air Force told me one day when I made a mistake, and I ended up getting I'm not gonna go through the whole story, but I ended up getting a ticket for driving. The security force gave me a ticket, right? So when you got stuff done like that, you had to go brief the commander and the chief and all the master sergeants and everything. You had to go before them and tell them what you did and why you were wrong or whatever, right? And I told him, I said, I was wrong. I own up to it, what I did. And the chief was like, yeah, you know what? You was wrong, but you know what? I do the same thing all the time. And how many people in the commander said I do the same thing? Everybody said, yeah, we all do it. He said, so you can't hold one person.
Right.
You can't give one person a ticket and not give everybody a ticket.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, you can't open up the door for one person and not open up the door and talk about other people.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. You gotta be fair. You gotta be fair about it. So
Right. Well, one last thing.
Yeah. Let's go.
Women's college basketball.
Oh yeah.
You have. I didn't even know this. UCLA is #1.
I didn't know that until you told me
And
before
then
we
they
went
got
on.
beat by USC, their rivals, and Juju Watkins went off. She went crazy. She's people already saying she's gonna be better than Caitlin Clark when she gets to the WNBA. I
Well,
was surprised that South Carolina's not. Where they're
They lost a
getting
lot of
beat-
sing- they lost
they're
a lot of
getting beat
singles.
down by UConn
they lost a lot of players.
right now, and Notre Dame has a player that's amazing.
Yeah, they're point guard.
Yeah,
Forget her name, but I knew you were talking
Yeah,
about.
Notre Dame has a player. So it's funny that it's not as all over the media as it was last year and 2 years ago because of injuries to Caitlin Clark, but there's still stars in college in
No.
women's college basketball.
The stars in it, which goes to show you the star power of Caitlin Clark and of Angel Reese as well.
Yeah, as soon as they left, no one's talking about.
Yeah,
college
I've
basketball.
never held anything against Caitlin. I always said she was dope. I just didn't like the way certain people were caping for her,
Right.
And pretty much saying that the other players don't matter. It doesn't matter about them. When I was like, no, we got other good players. I was like, she's just phenomenal at what she does. Now, as far as Juju Watkins, they're two totally different players. It's apples and oranges. Juju,
Right.
I believe, is taller. She's bigger. She's more solid. She's stronger. She's a better defender. Like you're not gonna be able to like all right. For example, Juju Watkins comes to the WNBA. Them girls ain't gonna be able to bully her like they was bullying Caitlin. They're not gonna bully. You're not gonna be able to move her like that, and she's gonna move, push back. So, and I'm not saying Caitlin's a sucker or anything like that. I'm just saying she's just she's like long and lanky. Yeah, and so it's easier to move her around. Whereas Juju, you're not gonna be able to do that. So it's no surprise that Juju is doing her thing. She has a chance to break Caitlin's record in scoring because she's going to have to play 2 more years. So we shall see. I did not know UCLA was #1.
Yeah.
It was #1. I thought USC was #1. Honestly, they're about to be #1. As far as University of South Carolina, they lost a lot of players. They lost some seniors and stuff like that. They lost Cardosa. So I expected this to be a little bit of a down year for them. UConn is always going to be UConn. Gino REM is always going to field a good team.
Yeah.
Like they might not win the chip.
Paige Becker's hit her
Oh,
last
yeah.
year, so
Paige Becker's is
someone
going to come out
else there
this.
that's balling too.
Yeah, she's gonna come out this year. I actually thought she should have came out last year, because she could have. She came back. She's going to be the #1 pick.
Right.
Becker's, I said, what if I said, what if the Chicago Sky got Paige Beckers, man? Because they're a lottery team. Well, what if they got lucky, got the #1 pick, and they got Paige Beckers? I was like, oh, God. Yeah, I mean, she at the point, they could do a little pick and roll action, man. That'd be crazy. But like you said, it's not a women's basketball. Not as I'm gonna wait for the season to go along, but it's not as that sizzle that they had last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of flamed out. It's kind of flamed out a little bit, but we shall see with Juju.
One last thing before we go. The Canelo Alvarez, Jake Paul fight is off, so it does open up the door for Canelo Alvarez and Crawford, possibly in September. Mm-hmm. So that I'm loving that. Hopefully they get that deal done, and obviously September 15th, that Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah, something like that.
That should happen.
That's gonna be nice. I believe that the whole Canelo, Jake Paul thing was all talk, just to get talks going with Bud, all that. Just talk and I definitely didn't want to see that. I'd rather see him fight Bud Crawford, but they're going to have to figure out where they're going to meet up for weight, because he's come 175 and the other one's coming from what, 154, 147.
I think it's 170 is the catch weight.
Let's go. 170 is going to be the catch weight.
Yeah.
So Bud be skipping over junior welterweight and middleweight and super middleweight, really. Yeah.
Right.
Like, so he's coming up 3 weight classes.
Yeah.
Which might be because you got to make weight in these lower classes, so it won't be as much strain for him.
Yeah.
We'll see. I know a lot of people are going for Bud. I'm a Canelo guy. I like Canelo a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if Bud did it though. Wouldn't be surprised at all. But for now, I'll take Canelo. I'll take Canelo in decision. I don't think he's gonna knock him out.
I got Bud on it.
Got Bud on it?
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if Bud took that. If Bud took it. Not at all.
Nope. That's all we got.
That's all we got, y'all.
This quick, live show from, well, not live, but on location in Goodyear.
What's up?
At Gus'S New York Pizza.
How'd you like the pizza?
It's good. Oh, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah, it was
good.
good.
You got it crispy, so they did mine crispy. I don't like it crispy.
No? Oh, man, you got it crispy.
I like it. Cool.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've had. No, not the first. Not the first, but I mean, it still was good though. It's good.
That's how you have New York pizza. Yeah.
All right, y'all, man. We out.
Thanks a lot. Peace.